Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the table. It's your boy, Antonio Padilla, and because I can say this now, I'm an associate producer on Zack Snyder's Justice League. And that's all I can say about that right now. With me, as always, my right-hand man, my boy, the man, the myth, the legend, the Red Dog, Clifford Miller. Cliff, say what's up.
Hey, what's up? What's up?
Here he is flexing those guns on us today. Man, I'm loving it, man.
I love the fact that we both decided to call each other and say that we both want to rep Deadpool today.
I know. I love that. I mean, that only happens when, you know, you're best friends like me and Cliff are. So pretty awesome. Pretty dope.
You know, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. I'm the assistant to the associate producer. I'm okay with this. I like that title.
Can't confirm. But yeah, Cliff, show your tattoo, man. Show the tattoo off. I think this is the first time our viewers are seeing it.
Oh yeah, because you know every time you know yeah. So yes, I do have a red dog on me, and it is for Clifford, the red dog, although it doesn't look like him. So yeah.
I like it, man. Very cool.
Going to the Speed Force. Come back. So we always joke about on the 3 Count podcast. Whenever I get frozen, they say I go into the Speed Force.
Nice. I like it. I approve. All right. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. We had a couple weeks off, just craziness in both of our lives. But hey, we're back and we got news. So the show we were supposed to do last week, right, Cliff? Was a week before. Regardless, we were supposed to cover Comic-Con at home. Not a whole lot of cool stuff that came out of that. Honestly, I think the biggest news that came out of that was the possible return of G4 TV, which we're going to get into in a bit. But we did get some trailers and a bit of news. We got a new trailer for Bill and Ted Face the Music. And again, looks great. Yes. Wild Stallions return. Cliff, not Cliff, Swag. I hope you put some music over that when Cliff and I did the air guitar. So just to make this episode as difficult as possible for Swag. But yeah, so we got a new trailer and it looks great, looks hilarious. Cannot wait to see it. But we also got the news that the film will be released theatrically, but it will also be day and date VOD, video on demand. So you can watch it at home the same time it goes to theaters, which I think is a pretty cool move. Yes, exactly. Yeah. I like it. I really like that because honestly, even if theaters do open up, I don't think I'm comfortable going to a movie theater right away. So I'm probably just going to stay home and watch Bill and Ted at home. How about you, Cliff?
Yes, actually, there's a few movies I'll be staying and watching at home, and I'll probably be paying an absurd amount of money to watch them at home.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah,
I just want to know
that real quick, because yeah, like Mulan is also going. It's going to be on Disney Plus, but like you got to pay a premium, which is $30 to watch it, which is expensive. But this goes back to like Cliff. Remember, you and I were talking about this when we were talking about movies, going to whether it's on streaming or VOD or whatever. It's like, yeah, I mean, like they have to make money off of these products. So, I mean, if you want to stay home and watch these movies, and like I get it, believe me, I want to watch these movies too. But I understand, like, yeah, got to pay the price, unfortunately.
But you know what? If you think about it, what's the average cost for a ticket for movies when you take a family?
Yeah, when you take your family, it's like it's like if it's you, Cliff, if it's you, your wife, your daughter, it's gonna be about $30 plus the cost of drinks and whatnot. So, yeah, exactly. But like for families, I think that $30 price is pretty reasonable. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it. So, but yeah, what do you think of the trailer, Cliff? How you feeling it?
I'm hyped, man. It doesn't matter to me. Like I know a bunch of my friends are all kind of pushing back. They're like, I don't need a third Bill and Ted movie. I'm like, fuck you. Us fans do, and we got it. And I'm hyped for it, man. I really am. I cannot wait. There's just I don't know. There's like all the intricacies that are getting tied in, and you know, we do get to see the return of Rufus, and I'm kind of excited about that, kind of, because
Yeah,
it's great tribute, and you need George Carlin in this movie, even though like
sure.
obviously So I'm definitely hyped about it. I'd love seeing Death, as always, the bogus adventures. But I think one of my favorite parts was when they're like, dude, you didn't travel anywhere. He's like, what?
Yeah,
Totally did.
yeah. No, I dug that about the trailer. I liked that it was like, Ted's dad kind of pushing back on it. It was like you're still being delusional. You guys never traveled through time and blah blah blah. And it's like, but they did. But like nobody believes them. So it's like, yeah, no, I dig it, man. I really like it. My favorite part was, again, it's the tag to the trailer. Just like with the first trailer, it's like Keanu always gets like the best way to end the trailer when he's talking to their daughters and they're like, how you doing? And they're like, oh, well, this happened and that. And he's like, yeah, but how you doing? And they're just like, we're good. It's like that was great, man. Pure dad energy right there. I love it. I love it.
This movie's gonna be so great. I can't wait.
I agree. It's gonna be a fantastic time. And like we were saying, if you don't feel comfortable going to a movie theater, you just watch it at home, and I think that's a win. I think that's a win for 2020. So, yeah, either way, we're getting Bill and Ted Face the Music, and I am happy. All right, let's talk about the other trailer we got at Comic-Con at home, and this trailer blew me away, man. I haven't been able to stop talking about it. I've been showing it to everybody. We got allegedly the final trailer for New Mutants, the long gestating New Mutants. Yeah, exactly. But this trailer, man, like I've seen people who are kind of iffy on this movie before, but like after this trailer, like everybody's like, this movie looks great, it looks amazing. And I agree, it looks super dope. It visually stunning, amazing. The cast, the characters, it looks like a horror movie, but with superpowers. And I'm into it, right? Right, Cliff?
Yes. That's exactly how I took it away. I was like, yo, man, you mean to tell me like this is exactly what I've been waiting for, like when like just everything gets flipped on its head and you have mutants that are now running from like I always think about it like there's like tigers, right? They have like little things on the back of their ears, like little white spots, right, to deter predators. And you have to ask yourself, like, what do tigers have to run from? Like, I'm scared of that thing now, and it's essentially what I'm looking at now. Like, you mean to tell me a bunch of mutants with powers are now running from something else? Like, I want to know what that something else is, so I can run to.
Yes. Exactly. Yeah, man. God, man. Yeah, that's the perfect way to put it, Cliff. Thank you very much. That's spot on. Yes, I love it. If you haven't seen the trailer, do yourself a favor, go check it out. Allegedly, we are still on track to get this movie this year, but we'll see. I've been hearing rumors that they're going to push it back to next year. I really hope that's not the case because this movie, I was just talking about it last night, Cliff, believe it or not. I was saying to some people, I was, this movie was supposed to come out like 2 years ago, right? Like, Cliff, I'm sure you remember Deadpool 2, Dark Phoenix, and New Mutants. They all filmed at the same time. They were all supposed to release in 2018. Deadpool 2 was the only one who came out in 2018. So yeah, man, like this movie's long overdue, and fingers crossed we actually get it. So, and I mean, at this point, if they want to dump it on VOD, I'll take it. Just give it to me, put it right into my vein. You know what I mean? What do you think, Cliff? You got any final thoughts on New Mutants?
No, dump it on Disney Plus. Let me get it there. I would take it on Disney Plus. Look, man, you put all the X-Men movies and you put Fantastic Four on there, plus that one that no one really talks about. I'll take them all. Like and I'll take Mutants on there as well. I don't care. Just give me this damn movie already.
Jesus. Yeah, I'm with you, man. Agreed. New Mutants can't get here soon enough. Love it. Love it. And at least from what I've seen anyway. So all right, let's talk about some news, Cliff. We got some pretty dope news. I believe this news was also announced at Comic-Con at home, but we got the amazing news. And season 2 hasn't even dropped yet. So shows you the kind of faith that the studio has with this property. But yeah, The Boys already renewed for season 3, which is amazing. Love it. We did get a new trailer for The Boys as well. I don't know if you saw it, Cliff, but oh man, all the bloody goodness you could want from the show. Yeah, we're getting it for sure. For sure. So yeah, we got the announcement ahead of season 2 premiering on Amazon Prime that we are indeed getting a season 3, and they also announced an after show to be hosted by Aisha Tyler, which I'm not going to complain about that. So yeah, I'm into it. Cliff, I already know how you feel about this, but tell the people how you feel about The Boys getting a season 3 ahead of season 2.
First, I don't need no trailer for season 2. You could have just told me the boy season 2 is coming out and I'm already in. I don't need a trailer for season 3. I'm well aware I'm already in. Plus, Giancarlo is gonna be in this season for season 2, and bruh, like I'm not gonna lie to anybody. I've finished watching the 4th season of Breaking Bad, and like he's been in obviously seasons 2 through 4. Such a huge fan of his. Like, oh my god. And then obviously The Mandalorian. Like, I mean, we can't even. Yeah, we gotta be honest. Like, yeah, this is on. I can't wait. Can't wait to see what he like. Just him in The Boys. I can't wait.
You know what, Cliff? Giancarlo is also the voice of Lex Luthor on Harley Quinn. I don't know if you knew that.
Oh, see, now that makes me like him even more.
Everywhere. I'm telling you, he's everywhere. And for good reason. He's awesome. He's amazing. Love him. So yeah, I'm with you, Cliff. I don't need a trailer. Here's what I propose for season 3 marketing. Here's the trailer. I got you. It's The Boys season 3 release date. That's it.
That's it.
That's all you got to show me. I'm in. I'm already. You know, I just spoke to someone earlier today who just saw season 1. Like they just watched season 1, and I was like, "What do you think?" And they was like, "Loved it, loved it." And I was like, "Yeah, well, that's why I kept telling you to watch it." So.
The only reason, like, I mean, just let's be real. The only reason why one reason that you can use to watch this show, I mean, let's be real. There's a dolphin in there, and we're talking about masturbating a dolphin. Like, that's all you need to know. I'm not gonna tell you what episode it is. You have to watch the series to find out.
Yeah, if that's your thing,
That's your
even
thing.
if it's not the thing, watch the
It could
show.
be your thing.
That's right. You don't know. You don't know until you see it. So
Until you see it.
it's one of those things. So, oh my God, the show. I can't wait for season 2, man. September 4th. That's next month, right, Cliff?
Oh man, it's 2 days before my birthday. I can't wait.
Yes. Cannot wait. Give me more of The Boys, man. A friend of mine was telling me, he's like, I hope this show runs for however many years, and I was like, yeah, I agree. I hope it does too.
Yep.
I'm not gonna lie. I was getting a little concerned that we were not gonna get a season 3. I don't ask me why. I just had a weird vibe. So to see the renewal for season 3 was, sigh relief for me. But yeah, love it, man. Can't wait for more of The Boys. And before anybody out there asks, yes, Cliff and I are both aware that Umbrella Academy season 2 is currently available on Netflix. I just have not had the time to watch it yet. I'm gonna get to it hopefully this weekend. Cliff, I don't know if you've checked it out yet or not, or I'm guessing you haven't, but I'm sure you're trying to.
In. Yeah.
Yeah.
When people ask, yeah, I'm legitimately carving time for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me too. I'm hoping to start probably tonight after we're done recording this episode. For anybody who doesn't know, it's August 7th, Friday, August 7th, 2020, as of this recording. So yeah, hopefully tonight I'll start season 2, Umbrella Academy. I've heard good things. I've heard nothing but good things about season 2. So
I'm gonna binge watch the whole season in one sitting. I'm not gonna worry about it.
I did that for season 1. Like I sat through the whole thing. Like so yeah, I'm probably gonna do that. I'll be up until 5 a.m.
I think I remember season 1. I broke it up into 3 chunks because I watched 4 episodes a night until I finished it.
I remember you did that. Because yeah, 'cause I remember I got ahead of you at one point, and you were like, no, no more, no spoilers. And I
No,
was like,
no, don't talk to me about it, man. We'll finish it tonight.
so yeah, we're gonna get to it, people, and once we do, we will give you our thoughts. And yeah, stay tuned. Stay
to
tuned.
be fair, anytime that Antonio says that he's gonna watch something, I have to watch it too. So like, for example, we did the episode of Mortal Kombat, the animated movie. I did not plan on watching it until later that week, but once I got a text message that we're watching it, I went and just I was like, I'm gonna watch it too. I'm not gonna play
All
this.
right, let's do it.
All
And
right,
then he was live texting me while we were both watching, which was great. It was a great experience. I always know when Cliff is watching something because he will text me as he's watching it, and I'm like, all right, Cliff's up to speed. Let's do this.
just like
Which
next month.
Yes.
Next month, Justice League Dark Apocalypse comes out on DC Universe. I'm excited. Even though I know you've already seen it. I have to wait.
But like I said, I've purposely not given any spoilers away on this show because I know Cliff hasn't seen it yet. So, all right, that's what friends do for each other. Okay.
Be a good friend.
Be excellent to each other. Hey, Bill and Ted. Way to bring it right around. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So let's talk about. We got some other pretty cool news, if I do say so myself. Now, it's no secret that I was not a fan of Captain Marvel. I'm not hating on anybody. You know, if you loved it, great. I genuinely hope you loved it. I really do. But this week we got some. Actually, before we get to this news, Cliff, I want to ask you a question. Off the top of your head, just off the top of your head, without Googling it, without looking it up on IMDb, can you tell me who directed Captain Marvel?
Kevin Feige.
Close enough.
I'm just gonna be honest.
For sure. Like, it's him. But I mean, can you tell me who the credited director is on that movie?
Absolutely not.
That's the point. And also, Cliff, without looking it up, can you tell me who the credited director on Black Widow is?
Kevin Feige.
This is what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. Cliff just made my point for me. So I honestly, even I don't know who. Okay, right here, it's in the article. So Anna Boden and Ryan Fleck. It was a duo on Captain Marvel. I couldn't tell you anything else they've worked on off the top of my head. And I do know who directed Black Widow, Kate Shortland. Why I know that, I don't know. Because she worked on a TV show I watched. That's why I know. Although off the top of my head, I can't even remember which one it was because I watch a lot of TV. Cliff knows this. But so that's the point I was trying to make. Like, just off the top of your head, could anybody tell me who directed either of those movies? And I don't think you could. So, but that's what makes this news that came out this week. I believe this broke yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. Broke on Wednesday. All right. So, Nia DaCosta, director of what was supposed to come out this year, like a lot of things were, the new Candyman, produced by Jordan Peele, who we all love. Nia DaCosta. It was reported on Wednesday that she will be directing the Captain Marvel sequel. Now, I say this is a good thing for multiple reasons. Like, number one, this will mark the first time that an African-American woman directs a Marvel movie, so points there. Number two, if you've seen any of the trailers for that new Candyman movie, looks amazing, looks phenomenal. I love it. And if that's who they're going to have come on board and shepherd in a new Captain Marvel movie, you've piqued my interest. I'm into it. I like it. I've enjoyed everything I've seen from this woman, and crossing my fingers we don't have to wait too long to get that Candyman movie, because I know that's something Cliff and I spoke about a lot, something we're really excited about. So yes, approval, thumbs up right here. Cliff, what do you think about this news?
I think Kevin Feige is going to do a great job directing this movie.
Yes.
I no. Okay, to be real, let me be serious. Nia DaCosta, yes, DaCosta. I'm a fan of what we've seen so far from Candyman. So I'm definitely excited to see. But my fear goes back into that it is Kevin Feige's world, and
Yeah,
he just like plucks directors and says this is going to be in what. Now I get it. Ryan was able to do his thing for Black Panther, so
mhm.
hopefully Nia gets that same kind of respect into whatever she wants to do with Captain Marvel. But
Mhm.
my fear still goes back to the point where Kevin was going to be like, well, I don't like how you're going to do that. I'm just going to take you out and put somebody else in.
You make a good point because we did see this play out with Scott Derrickson on Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. And you know what? You make a valid point, Cliff. Like that's going to be the test about whether or not she's given the freedom to make the kind of movie she wants to make. You know, because very famously, Patty Jenkins was supposed to direct Thor: The Dark World, and due to the ever persistent creative differences, she didn't end up making that movie, and we got the massively forgettable movie that exists right now. And then she, of course, went on to make Wonder Woman, which is an amazing movie. So yeah, no, I agree, Cliff. I dig the idea of this woman coming on to direct this movie. I think it's a good thing, but you're absolutely right. I think we should proceed with caution. You make a good point, Cliff. Good point. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Do you have any other thoughts on this, Cliff, before we get out of here?
I
On
to
story
be
and
to be Yeah, to be fair, I am excited to see how they expand the universe for Captain Marvel 2. So I'm definitely on board with whatever they're going with. I'm I'm watching Brie Larson on her YouTube channel, and I have to say, man, the more I see her, the more I'm like, I love you. It's like I know
yeah.
you don't. I know you're not gonna typically like someone like me. I'm just gonna let you know. I have this affirmation for you. I think that you're great, and I just love your content. So keep doing your thing.
Yeah, like it's funny you mention that because like yeah, even like it's like, and again, not to bring up anything that happened in the past, but it was like some of the stuff, the way she conducted herself on the press for Captain Marvel, kind of did put me off, especially since I was a fan of hers for so long. She's in so many movies that I love and whatnot, and I genuinely think she's talented. But no, yeah, like she's won me back over recently, so yeah, it's like, hey, we're all human, you know what I
Right.
mean? Whatever, it's fine. It's in the
And
past.
if you haven't seen her episode on Hot Ones, please go check that out.
I
It was
just, yeah,
amazing.
gotta see it. Yeah. Thanks, Cliff. Thanks for reminding me. I knew there was something we needed to do. So yeah, so that's pretty big news for Captain Marvel 2. Yeah, we'll see. We will keep an eye on that story for sure. Now, let's bring it back to what I was talking about earlier for Comic-Con at Home. So, what I think was what personally for me was the biggest news that came out of that is the possible return of G4 TV. So, oh man, dude, I got so excited when I saw this because Cliff, you and I spent however many hours watching G4 TV when we were
All the hours.
like that was my jam right there, man. And I was like legitimately sad when it went away. Uh, back in I know like officially it went off the air in 2014, but like it actually died a lot earlier than that. So, but yeah. So we got an announcement video that teases the return of G4 TV, and not a whole lot more. So, not a whole lot of details. Like it could be a streaming thing. It could be, I don't know if it's gonna be a network that's on TV or what, but we will see. Cliff, how do you feel about this?
I'm ex- I'm excited. I mean, Olivia Munn got her start off of G4 TV, so it's a great opportunity for everybody to just kind of like branch out and get back into the gaming community and stuff. The thing I really want to see though is I want to see. I hope, right? I hope it is a streaming service, but I hope they have like a platform where they're gonna give like more content, not just gaming wise, but like we're talking like more pop culture wise, as well as like maybe some things that may be like cliche. I don't know, maybe like someone's looking to be hosting a wrestling show on G4 TV. I don't know of anybody, but there possibly could be someone out there that would be like wanting to do that.
Cliff, well done.
Or I don't know, maybe there's a cool couple guys who love talking about all sorts of media stuff,
All sorts.
possibly
shit,
Possibly,
you know.
possibly sit at a round table. I don't know.
G4, buy this show. Um,
Fact.
so you could get it pretty cheap. That's all I'm saying. So yeah, no, I agree with you, Cliff. Like that's one of the things that intrigues me about the possible return of G4 TV because I've already seen people online sort of pitching themselves. So like, hey, we might as well throw our hats in the ring. So
Facts.
let's do it. G4 for your consideration. Nerds of the Roundtable. All right. So yeah, man, I can't wait to see what this thing actually ends up being. You know, we'll keep you guys updated. So yeah, like I said, not a whole lot of details on this, but very exciting nonetheless. All right, so all that out of the way, I want to talk about something that happened the same weekend as Comic-Con at home. Something that I'm very proud of. It was actually this was the whole thing where Justice Con happened that same weekend, and that was put on for the express intention of bringing awareness to Zack Snyder's Justice League. Yes, I'm going to talk about it again. You know, there's no way I'm not gonna. And there were plenty of panels with people who are part of Zack Snyder's creative team and a lot of his collaborators. Jay Oliva, Ray Fisher, Cyborg had his own panel. Deborah Snyder, his wife, had a panel with the Amazons, which was dope. But of course, the big draw was the panel with Zack Snyder himself. Also, Ray Porter had one himself. Which, if you haven't seen it, you can go to the Justice Con YouTube channel. It's all still there. You can watch it. Ray Porter, I love you, man. I love you. Okay, I'm saying it right now. I love you. You are a great human being. So yeah. But the big panel with Zack Snyder, where he showed a clip from the film, and it was only, I don't know, maybe 20 seconds long, if that, but we got to see Superman in the black suit in motion, and it was, I'm not gonna lie, I know I say this a lot when it comes to anything regarding this movie, but the moment I saw Superman come into frame in the black suit, I legitimately like teared up. Like I was so happy. I was so overjoyed, man. Like I was just, cause it's like it's like it's just like it just made it that more real, you know? Like we're finally getting Superman in the black suit in Zack's movie, and it was gorgeous, man. I love seeing it so much. Cliff, what was your reaction to seeing the black suit?
I just went. That's all I needed. I was just a big gasp, and then he was just like, "Alfred," and I was like, "Oh fuck!"
Yep. Yes, sir. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I think that was pretty much everybody's reaction to that clip. It's funny because Zack, when he revealed the clip, again, it was a very small clip, just tiny little clip. People were like, "Show more, show us more clips." And Zack was like, "Guys, that's all I have for you, and I'm not even sure I was supposed to show you that." So, so you know, it was a gift. It was a little gift, and I appreciate it. But for anybody who's like, I want to see more, stay tuned for DC Fandom, August 22nd. Zack confirmed that there will be a trailer, an official trailer for Zack Snyder's Justice League. And he confirmed a couple of other things too, because like he didn't say anything one way or the other at Justice Con, but people were asking him about, because Cliff, I'm not sure if you heard, but there are rumors that this might be broken up into chapters once it goes streaming, or whether it's going to be like a 4-hour movie. But he says you'll get your answer at Fandom. He also said because there are weird legal like red tape stuff around the title for the movie, like we're gonna get the final official title at Fandom as well. So there's gonna be a lot of stuff going on at DC Fandom August 22nd. Not just for Justice League. Cliff, I don't know if you saw all the stuff that they were posting today. That event is gonna be massive. The guest list there is like insanely huge. Like anybody who's part of whether it's the DC TV shows, the DC Universe shows, whether it's their movies, their upcoming movies. Dwayne Johnson's going to be there. He's going to be showing off some Black Adam stuff. So, and Dwayne got his own special announcement video, which he posted to all of his socials, which teases Black Adam. So anybody out there who is looking for any of this stuff, DC Fandom will be August 22nd. It's free for anybody and everybody. It's going to be 24 hours. So yeah, do yourself a favor, check it out. It's going to be insane. And we're going to come back to this a little bit later because we've got some other news that we're also going to hear more about at DC Fandom, but we'll get into that in a little bit. So Cliff, before we move on, what do you think about, was there anything else you wanted to say about whether it's Justice League or the Black Suit or just whatever?
Nah, I just want to see Superman fuck up some people, that's it.
Right on, man. I think that's how we all feel. So, so yes. All right.
Well,
so
I guess, you know what?
Go ahead.
It's kind of unrelated, but it's kind of related. You mentioned how like fans were like, show us more, show us more. Look, y'all, just be happy with what you get, man. Like, I don't want to sound like that guy, right? But when the 22nd comes and we get to see like a whole bunch of stuff, like, please don't be those guys who are like, we want to see more. Just be appreciative of what you're getting. Again, this is where it goes back to, like, I was talking about it with Robert Pattinson. Like, yo, I don't want to see anything of the movie, like, at all.
Yeah.
I saw what I needed to see. Cool, let's move on. And I don't want to hear anything about the trailer. I just want to be surprised. And I feel like everybody should be that way, man. Like, we should be excited about what we get to see.
Exactly. And Cliff, I'm kind of with you. You know what I hope? I hope the trailer that Zack reveals at Fandom it's just that original trailer he released back in 2016 at Comic-Con. I hope it's just that trailer, but with the new title on it. I hope that's it. Because I don't know if you've watched that trailer recently. That trailer advertises a completely different movie. Like, take a shot anytime you see footage in that trailer that's not in the theatrical movie, you'll be drunk in like 15 seconds. No doubt. So like, and I've been saying this for a while. It's like, if I were him, man, I'd just re-release that same trailer and be like, hey, that's my movie, you know? So
Nah, what I would do is I would make the screen go black and then have it come out with like the title of the film and then just a release date and then just end.
And that's it.
That's it. You don't even get to see Black Superman show back up. It's just on.
Release date. Yeah.
People are gonna boo it and be like, yo, love the movie.
Yeah, exactly. I'd do that. So yeah. I'm with you, Cliff. All right. So let's get into this news because this is something that made me really happy. So Emmy nominations came out. I believe this was last week. But in a lot of the usual suspects showed up. Marvelous Miss Maisel, Ozark, Killing Eve, The Crown. All the shows that you would expect to get the Emmy love. But the dark horse coming up was HBO's Watchmen, that leads the pack with 26 nominations, the most nominations for any show this year. And again, this could not make me happier. This show is well deserved. If you haven't seen, Cliff, have you seen Watchmen yet?
I have not. I am ashamed.
You don't know what you're missing. Oh, it's so good. Yeah, so this show getting the most nominations of all year made me so happy because it's well deserved. Regina King got nominated for Best Actress, and I think like almost everybody on that show got some sort of acting nomination. But like Best Writing, just my goodness. The one that I want to point out though, because I have to, because I'm a fan and I love both these guys. They also did score an Emmy nomination for Best Score for Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross, and that made my heart just that made me so happy because I love that soundtrack. If you guys haven't listened to it yet, do yourself a favor, check it out on Spotify or wherever you are because it's amazing. Some of that stuff makes for really good workout music, Cliff. I'm just saying. Check it out. I've
If I
gone.
wasn't
I've gone.
injured,
That's right. That's right.
yeah, if I wasn't injured, now I could be back in the gym. Don't
I'm
ask.
gonna.
I'll tweet
I'm
at
gonna.
somebody.
I just pulled this off of my shelf right behind me. It's the Watchmen Blu-ray set. So. So yeah. I love it, man. Cliff, I know you haven't seen the show yet, but what do you think about Watchmen leading the pack this year?
Well, I mean, the cast is like I'm always been a fan. Like I'm a fan of Jeremy Irons. I'm a fan of Regina King. So seeing those two like get nominated was definitely awesome. Understanding that the show itself like has been really good. I do understand that the writing has been really well for it too. So it being a beautiful work that it is, I'm excited. So I can't wait to actually get my hands on it and dive into it. And I will. I promise I will.
Oh, I'm sure you will. You'll get to it eventually. Um, and like, I'll cut you some slack because like I said, like I still haven't even seen Umbrella Academy. So season 2. I've seen season 1. I haven't gotten around to season 2 yet, but we'll get there. But yeah, so congratulations to the cast and crew on HBO's Watchmen for your 26 Emmy nominations. Well deserved. I really hope Regina King wins that Emmy this year. She deserves it, man. Every time I rewatch the show, and I've rewatched the show a couple of times, but every time I do, man, I'm just like, she gets me. She's so good. She's so good. And yeah, Jeremy Irons, fantastic. He's great in everything. I don't think I've ever seen him put in a bad performance. So yeah, man, I'm proud. I'm happy for everyone. So let's bring it home, baby. Let's do this. All right, Cliff, let's get into a little bit of video game news because we got some pretty cool news in regards to a couple of properties over the last couple of weeks. The main ones that I want to talk, and if you have any, feel free to throw them in there. But one that I want to bring up at top is the Marvel's Avengers video game. I know there was a controversy around this, but I got to bring it up. So they started announcing some of the DLC characters that are going to be available. They announced Hawkeye, and then they did announce Spider-Man, much to the chagrin of Xbox users, because Spider-Man is a PlayStation exclusive. So unfortunately, if you thought you were finally going to get to play as Spider-Man on Xbox, nope, not happening. But I mean, I'm gonna be okay because I play PlayStation. But Cliff, what do you think about that announcement? And number one, like, are you excited for this game?
Yes, I am. I'm excited for the game. Getting to see the demo, see it play out. I'm definitely excited to see it. I will have to purchase it on the PlayStation side. I'm not buying it on Xbox because let's be real, I want Spider-Man.
Yeah,
It's
I feel you.
it's insane to think like that's the kind. Well, to be fair, PlayStation they love their properties. They love to hold on to them, and they get to do
Mhm.
whatever they want. I mean, we looked at Mortal Kombat with Kratos. Like he was only
Yeah,
on the PlayStation side, so fans didn't get a chance. Fans on Xbox didn't get a chance to play with him in Mortal Kombat 9. So I I'm hyped for this game. I did like all the DLC costumes that we were seeing too, so I can't wait.
yeah. It's I'm definitely gonna check it out because Swag was telling me that the beta is going open, I believe, next weekend. So I'm definitely going to try and get in on that just to get a feel for the game, see if whet my appetite a little bit. So yeah, I'm definitely going to try and get in on that. I know Swag's already planning on it, so we will keep you updated on that. But yeah, I'm with you, Cliff, man. I like the DLC characters. I like some of the skins that we saw. Pretty cool stuff. So yeah. It just sucks that some people aren't going to get to play Spider-Man still.
Did you see the meme? Did you see the meme where it was they were talking about Avengers video games for PlayStation, and it had Iron Man, Black Widow, Hawkeye, War Machine, and then Spider-Man. And then for X-Men or for Xbox, it said at Iron Man, Black Widow, I think Captain America was in there, War Machine, and like that was it. So they took a clip from from the Avengers Civil War, from Captain America
Oh, you
Civil
got it
War.
right the first time.
We from 12 bitches fighting in a terminal, but they took a clip from there and they just like shortened it. They just cut out Spider-Man. I was like, this is great.
I haven't seen that, but I'm definitely gonna look it up tonight when we're done. Or I don't know, send it to me, Cliff. You know how
I'll
to.
find it. I'll send it to you.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. That's great. Did you have any other gaming news you want to talk about before we get into what was today's big announcement?
Well, I mean, we did hear that Xbox did announce once again, whenever a new Xbox system comes out, there's only one game that has to come out with it, and that person, Master Chief. So we are getting another Halo game, which I'm definitely excited for. We did get a little bit of a trailer for it, but that's basically like the biggest one I wanted to talk about was that Master Chief is returning to the Xbox Series X game system. So.
Oh, for sure, man. For sure. It's worth mentioning. It's also worth mentioning that it's confirmed that Halo Infinite will be free to play. So,
Yes.
yeah. I'm not an Xbox player. I'm not a Halo guy, but I mean, hey, it's worth mentioning for anybody out there who's looking forward to it, who's excited. Yeah, we'll keep you up to date on that for sure. All right. So let's get into it, Cliff. This morning I woke up super early because I had stuff to do. But so I went and took care of all my business this morning. Got back home. I was like, all right, I'm gonna relax. Went on social media, and the first thing I saw, I opened up Twitter, and I went to the Explore, and I saw Suicide Squad was trending. And I was like, what is going on here? Clicked on the tab, and oh, I was not ready. I was not ready. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know already, Rocksteady finally confirmed they have a new DC video game coming for us, and it is indeed the Suicide Squad. If you haven't seen the poster that they posted with this announcement, it was glorious. Swag, put that poster up right now. It was great. It was Superman with the crosshairs trained right on his head, but the crosshairs said Suicide Squad. I love that logo, Cliff. That logo is brilliant. It's the C from Suicide is also the U in Squad. Whoever designed that logo, give that person a raise. That's brilliant. So yes, it's obviously going to be a Suicide Squad game. Clearly, the Suicide Squad has some beef with the Justice League, and I'm here for it, man. I am here for it. And I mentioned it when we were talking about all the DC fandom stuff. We're going to get more news on this project at DC Fandom August 22nd. So keep your eyes out there. If you miss it, we will keep you up to date on that as well. So yes, Cliff, what were your thoughts? What were your reactions to any and all of this?
I just need more information because I want to know if Tara Strong is doing the voice of Harley Quinn. That's what I want to know, obviously. And I want to know if this universe mixes with the Dark Knight universe, the Arkham Knight universe. So if it does, awesome. If it doesn't, awesome. I don't care. Rocksteady to me can't make a bad game because playing all three of the Arkham series. Like I'm hyped about this game, so I can't knock it.
Oh, I'm so excited, man. I know you and I are both wearing Deadpool, but I was like, yo, if we better get to play as my boy Deathstroke, because that would be sick. That's my one like wish list. Like anybody else, like cool, you know, if Deadshot's in there, Boomerang, Harley, whoever, awesome. But you better put my boy Slade Wilson in that game. All right, I'm talking to you guys, Rocksteady. All right. That's really my one demand. So
so here's a question for you. Who voices him?
Oh, that's a good question. Ron Perlman from Teen Titans. He was the voice of Slade on Teen Titans. I'd go with Ron Perlman, just because he's a reliable. Or I would go with. That's a tough one. Who would you pick, Cliff?
Jesus, I had the name on the tip of my tongue and I forgot. Give me a second.
I'd probably try and get Isai Morales.
There you go. That's what I was thinking. He says
Yeah,
Morales.
because he did a great Slade Wilson on Titans. So yeah, if you could get him back, please do so. So yeah, man, I'm super excited about this game. You know, again, not a whole lot of details. We saw a poster. We got an official announcement from Rocksteady saying to keep your eyes open. We're gonna hear more about it at DC Fandom. So yeah, we will definitely keep you updated. Cliff, you have anything else to say about it?
I want to talk about DC Fandom really quick.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, let's finish this one up, and then we can. I got a
Go for
question
it.
for you.
All right.
So I've been meaning to ask you this question for a hot minute, and I finally get the chance to ask you this question.
Mm-hmm.
So I recently have found a new love for a certain person, and I want them to play the Green Lantern. Okay, so we've obviously talked about, we've openly talked about how we want Idris Elba obviously to be Jon Stewart, right? I found a person that I think could play him and do an amazing job at him.
Mm-hmm.
That person, Leslie Odom Jr.
I'm on board.
For those who don't know, he played Aaron Burr in the musical Hamilton. Amazing actor, and he's done some other stuff musically that's lit the world on fire. But I'm just saying, like, I was like, I need him to play Jon Stewart. That's my man right now. It's John.
Yeah, no. You said his name, and I was like, I have no complaints. I have no qualms with that. If that's a thing that someone wants to make happen,
Please make it happen. I would be so mad too when he doesn't get that part. I'm gonna be like, that's not who I picked.
Because like this is not who we agreed on, and I know it was in my head, but
But to be fair, when I've made these kind of predictions, I am 2 for 2 for these predictions, though.
it's true. It is true. So we'll see.
In case our listeners are wondering who else I might have picked, I actually did pick Benedict Cumberbatch to play Strange.
Mm-hmm.
I called
It's
that
true.
like almost a year and a half in advance.
It's true. He did. I remember. You think I don't remember, Cliff, but I remember. So yeah, man. So definitely keep your eyes peeled on DC Fandom. There's gonna be, I don't know if you saw it, Cliff. That guest list is insane. For anybody who hasn't seen anything regarding, I'll probably end up posting some stuff on the Nerds Facebook page. So keep your eye out there. If you're not following us there, please do so. Facebook.com/Real Nerds of the Roundtable. All right. So yeah, that's gonna do it for game news this week. Pretty exciting stuff. So yeah, I can't wait for that Suicide Squad game. I really can't. So, it's gonna be dope. All right. Yes. All right, Cliff. Let's get into TV time because we got some episodes to talk about. Let's do this. So, do you want to start with Stargirl or do you want to start with Doom Patrol?
Start with Stargirl because Doom Patrol actually had a season finale.
That's right, they did. Okay, so we're gonna talk about, so let's see, Brainwave Jr., Shining Knight, and Stars and Stripe Part 1. All right, so just a quick synopsis for episode Brainwave Jr. After Barbara discovers that Pat and Courtney have been what they've been hiding, the JSA goes into the tunnels with Henry to find Brainwave before he is corrupted by the ISA. What do you think of this episode, Cliff? This was, I mean, before I let you get into it, this episode was crazy. Had one of the craziest fight scenes the show has done. Probably my favorite fight scene so far. And then the ending, just, oof. I'm not. Again, I was an emotional mess at the end of this episode. Not gonna lie. But what do you think, Cliff?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree, man. Like, I love the action sequences that we got into it, and then yeah, like right towards the end, man, like my heart broke, man. Again, I say this, man, like, and I say this with all due respect, I just want to see every member of the ISA get killed. I'm not gonna front. I'm not gonna play around. Every single person gotta go. Every person gotta go.
Like, they are terrible people.
Haunting.
Yeah, terrible. I did like that we got to see Dragon King's face, like finally, and I was like, yeah, that's what he's supposed to look like under that hood. So Good job. So yeah, I really liked this episode. Super, yeah, man. Like, I was talking to some people that were watching the show with me, and it was like, that's I think Henry King Jr. probably had the best character arc in the season because he starts out as like the typical school bully, but by the end of this episode, like you feel for him. You know what I mean? And it's just like that's good writing. That's good. That's a great character arc. And it's like it's hard to redeem a character who was as terrible as this kid was in the beginning of the show. So bravo. I really enjoyed that.
But
Yeah.
you know what? Like they
Mm.
showed like glimpses of him like like during it, and it
Hmm.
was just like I don't know, man. My heart kind of went out to him originally, and I was like, man, this is this. And then like as like you said, the series like progressed, I'm just kind of like, damn, dude, like he
Oh yeah.
wasn't all that bad. And then like shit happens.
Yeah. And I mean, you're not wrong. Like, when we first started to get glimpses into why he was the way that he was, it was like, yeah, I get it. I get like, when you're raised by a psycho supervillain who's like basically just waiting for you to develop the same superpowers he has. I get that you would probably lash out against people the way he did. I don't condone it, but I understand it. So, yeah, man. But like I said, the character was just handled so well that I, I just, it was really rewarding to see the way it was written and the arc that the character went on. So, yeah, even if it did emotionally destroy me at the end of this episode. So,
Especially right there at the end when he was like when he looked at Yolanda and you could just see like the love connection look. Like
mm,
you see it all the time in like certain movies. Like you saw well, and I'll bring it up right. Avengers Endgame, like between Black Widow and Hawkeye, like you just knew like that moment and it was just like that look of like, I'm sorry. And you're
yeah,
like, no, don't.
yeah, there was legitimately, you're right. There was that moment when I was watching this episode that I knew what was going to happen. I was like, oh, no. I was like, don't do this to me, man. Like, and then they did it, and it was just, I'm getting teary eyed just thinking about it, man. Oh, it was
No, right.
so emotional, so emotional. All
He
right,
just
so
he just threw her through the door, man, and was just like, nobody's getting in. I'm fighting my father on my own. I was like, no, you're not gonna make it. And I was
yeah, oh, he's gonna die, and I just, I couldn't take it, man. Couldn't take it.
I wanted to
Uh,
help. I was trying to do it too. I was like,
yeah, yeah, no, straight up, man. So yeah, so full spoilers here. So yeah, Henry Jr. he dead, and I wasn't ready for it. So, but like I said, that story arc is probably my favorite so far. I mean, we'll see how the season ends, but yeah, man, that really got me, and this episode really got me. So, what would you rate this episode, Cliff?
jeez, man, 9.25. Just
Yeah,
yeah, I'm gonna go with
yeah,
that.
yeah. Fair, fair, fair. I'm gonna give it a 10. Just because it was, yeah, it was great. That great fight scene, and then like the emotional payoff at the end of the episode was awesome. I'm not gonna lie. I'm probably gonna give all these episodes we're talking about this week a 10 out of 10 because this next episode, Shining Knight, I was not expecting this episode to be as emotional as it was. Cause like, dude, there were multiple times during this episode where I was like in tears. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. Especially with Justin, the Shining Knight. Like when you
Right.
find out what's going on with him, and shout out to that actor. I'm not sure what his name is, but his performance, especially in this episode, was amazing. So credit to him. So the episode Shining Knight. Courtney's life gets turned upside down when someone from her past arrives in Blue Valley. Meanwhile, Pat uncovers new information about the ISA's plan, and Jordan makes a surprising discovery at work. So, yeah, so this episode was, like I said, it was just super emotional. So, this episode, Courtney's biological father comes to visit her, and spoiler alert, he's a douchebag.
Okay, douche.
Yeah. although he puts on a pretty good front at first, you think, oh, maybe he's not so bad, and then nah, he's a douchebag. So, and that scene, that final scene between him and Courtney, when he takes the locket, dude, I saw that start playing out, and I was like, oh, this is like right out of the comic books. I was like, oh, fuck this guy. I was like, I was hoping we were not going to do this, but we're doing it. Fuck this guy. Piece of trash. But shout out to, I believe his name is Jeff Stoltz, the actor who played him, because that dude's in a lot of stuff that I've watched and I really like him. And as much as that character is a fucking douchebag, that dude turned in a pretty solid performance. I also like the fake out at the beginning of the episode when they first reveal him. Like, you kind of think it's Joel McHale, you kind of think it's Starman, because he's got like the hair done up and everything, and it's like, and then the camera turns around and shows like, that's not him at all. All right, cool. And I'm glad we finally got that mystery out of the way, because the whole season I was telling people, I was like, Starman is not Stargirl's father, at least not in the comic book, so I don't understand what they're doing here on the show. So for them to finally be like, no, he's not her father, and also the lesson that they impart on us, the idea that you don't have to be someone's, you don't have to be from some certain bloodline to be a hero. They even say a hero can come from anywhere, and that's something Cliff and I were talking about when we were just, dunking on the Rise of Skywalker. So I really appreciated that. That's what the lesson they put into this episode, and it was fantastic. Like I said, this episode was really emotional for me. All the stuff with Courtney and her dad, and all the stuff with Justin, like him dealing with his mental state, really powerful stuff. And I really loved Pat, Luke Wilson's performance as well, because I was watching this episode and I was like, oh, that's why you get a guy like Luke Wilson to play this role, because him trying to comfort Justin, and him like, hey man, tell me that story. It's a great story. Like that scene where he's trying to like get him to come back to him. It's like, yeah, man, that was wonderful. That was great. So, yeah, I really love this episode. I'm giving it a 10 out of 10. Cliff, what were your thoughts? What were some of your favorite moments? What was your rating?
Yeah, you know what? You know the reason why Sam didn't work out in this fucking show, right? Because Sam rhymes with Cam, and clearly my girl was out of this man's league. That's how.
Yeah.
That's how I know.
Mm-hmm.
You guys didn't know. You guys can do the research. You'll figure it out yourselves. Anyway, you're right, man. Luke is amazing. I love Pat in this series so far. And that scene, man, like he punched out Sam, and I was like, don't come back. Right.
Yeah.
It's great. But my favorite part
to him, he's like, you're lucky I'm busy. Because like, yeah, man, he probably would have kept going.
Hey, yo, Stripe ain't gonna mess around. But I think my heart went out, man, and I've always been, so I'm gonna be honest, I've always been a fan of Luke, only because like he always like he knows how his character, he can drive stuff out of like people. He doesn't know how to draw the audience like to him, right? And just like you said, the scene with Justin, right? But more importantly, the scene right at the end, man, when he just like straight up told her, it was like, look,
yeah,
I'm here for you. If you want to punch me, you want to beat me up, whatever you want to do, I'm here. All she wanted to do was just get hugged, and it tears me up, because this scene is gonna go down as one of those scenes where people are just gonna kind of pass over it, right? But this scene hit me just as hard as the scene of Will Smith in The Fresh Prince with Avery, Uncle Phil.
He reminded me of as well. Yeah.
And my heart just bled for her. I was like, God, man, like this is, I'm not gonna lie, I teared up. I did, because I was like, I understand where you're coming from, because I've seen this. I was like, I've seen this in other shows, but it hits me so hard, because I'm like, yo, like I just know. I was like, I know Court is just like, I just know her heart is just like, it's in a good place, and this dude literally just was like, hey, that locket you wear around your neck, it's priceless. Let me just jack that from you, and you knew he was never coming back.
What a fucking asshole!
I fucking hate you, bro.
Yeah, I'm with you 100%, man. Everything you said, fantastic. That is a fantastic scene. That scene with Courtney and Pat. That was beautiful. And yeah, man, I really love this episode. So
But I will say there is one part that I did not like in this movie. I'm gonna be the asshole in this one. It was at the
mhm.
very end, right, where she's trying to control staff because she realizes she thinks that she's not the person, right, for the staff, and the staff's not lighting up, obviously, right? Staff's not feeling her. But then she like grabs Pat and her mom, and they go downstairs, and she's like, "I need you both." No, what you need is not them. You have to believe that you are a star girl. You don't need them. And I just felt like it was like that cheesy ass scene, like she's like powering back up to believe that she. And I was like, no, it's inside you. This is the Lion King, man. This is your moment to show that the true power lies inside you. But no,
Yeah,
what we instead got was like this cheesy moment where mom and dad are just downstairs and they're like, yeah, we believe you're star girl. I'm like, bruh, I was like, I don't like this. That
yeah,
was
no,
it.
no, like
That was it.
legit, like that. I also thought that scene was, eh.
I was like,
But I mean, like the only mark on an otherwise flawless episode.
yeah, that's my only thing I didn't like about it.
I did love the moment where Justin saw her wielding the staff again, and he's like, "Our queen has risen." I was like, "Yes, yes, she has." So yeah, I'm into it, man. I really love this episode. What would you rate this episode, Cliff?
I'm gonna give it. I'll give it 9.5. Give it 9.5.
Right on, right on. That's fair.
I'm gonna be
Uh,
fair because I'm gonna say it like this, right?
mhm.
That episode was like you're listening to this awesome speech, right, from like your favorite person of like all time, and right when they go to finish the speech, they fart and walk away. That's essentially what I felt. I felt like that's what happened.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. However, if I can get all right, this is gonna get a little graphic here. So if you're a sensitive viewer or listener, please turn away right now. So the way I would describe it, I heard Kevin Smith review a movie this way. I'm gonna say the exact same thing. This episode was like getting the best blowjob you've ever gotten in your entire life from the most beautiful, gorgeous woman you've ever seen in your entire life. Where right at the end, as you're about to finish, she pops right off you and jerks you off all over your belly. It's like you're just like, oh my god, this is amazing. What, out? No, all right, I guess. That's what this felt like to me. All right, sensitive viewers and listeners, come back in. All right, so I apologize. I realize that was a bit much, but hey, we'll go with it. All right, so the next episode, Stars and Stripe Part 1, because the finale for season 1 is a two-parter, so next week will be the final episode of season 1. So in Stars and Stripe Part 1, with the ISA on their tail, Courtney, Pat, and the team regroup to figure out their next steps. Meanwhile, Rick makes a breakthrough, and the team prepares for a showdown with the ISA. This episode was pretty cool. I really liked it. I liked everything they're setting up. I liked that Barbara and Mike are now finally in the loop with what's going on. Mike, that's another one of those characters that I feel like we don't really talk about him, but he's also had a really great story arc this season with like, and it's real subtle. Like he drops hints like, hey, like Courtney's like, he's like, what are you doing with my dad? That's my dad. And like he even tells Pat like, hey, I'm your son. What did I do wrong? So you get those little moments, and then finally in this episode, it's like, he's finally in the loop. He understands what's going on. So I'm glad that the whole family's in on it now. So, and then once again, anytime Crusher, aka Sportsmaster, shows up, and I loved that fight between him and Pat, where he's still trying to be Pat's buddy. You know what I mean? Where he's like, but at the same time, he's like, I gotta kill you, man. Like, hey, it's just business.
It's business.
Yeah, I really liked that scene. I liked the fight with Tigress as well, where she's trying to kill Barbara, and then Courtney comes in and saves her. And there was some really dope choreography with the staff there as well. Yeah, I really liked this episode. I did figure out that the car was the key to unlocking Rex's journal. I called that pretty early on. I was like, it's the car, dude. It's the car. Come on, figure that out, dummy. But so what do you think of this episode, Cliff?
I'm gonna be honest, like I was just watching it, and I just kind of like went in with a blank mind, right? And then he was like, "Yeah, I've tried my birthday, I've tried my mom's birthday, I've tried my dad's birthday. I don't understand what else has numbers in it." I was like, "The car." That
Yeah.
was like the first thing I said, and then also they're like, "What about the car?" And he was like, "The car." I was like, "What? You said you tried everything. You didn't even try MC Hammer's phone number. What are we doing?"
My whole thing was like, why would there be a picture of the car in the journal? I was like, it's the car, dummy. Figure it out. Like, what's the... And then, of course, it was the car. So it was like, yeah, called
Like,
that.
like the car was in a journal, a picture of it. You had you fixed the car. You
Mm,
knew the year of the car. Your
yeah,
parents gave you that car as a kid.
yeah. You
I feel
knew
like
it
that's
was
a
your...
huge plot hole. Like
Yeah, it's like, come on, dude. But that's why I
for
was like, come
added,
on, figure it out, dummy.
yeah, for added drama, like that's what we did. And then you were gonna need Pat's help to figure out that was 1966 because it was a car. I was like, you know what? Like we made this man look like. I think we took a little bit away from him from like doing that. I was like, not that I have a problem with it because I do like the fact that it came to him, but then he figured out the rest of the formula on his own. But I'm like, you didn't need Pat, bro. Like the answer was in your face, literally the whole
Literally
time, your
staring you in the...
whole life.
Yeah. So yeah, that was
You
a
could
bit
do
weird. Yeah. But what do you think of the rest of this episode, Cliff?
That was great. I love the fact that I love the fact that we found out that the countdown
Mm.
wasn't
Yeah,
the countdown they thought. Oh, that blew my mind. I was like, bruh. I was
we
like, I felt
watched.
like I was watching, to bring it back, I felt like I was watching a Watchmen.
Yeah,
I was
that's the
like,
vibe I got.
I
Yeah,
was,
he's like, oh no, that's the cat. That's it, it already started. Like
we're already
that's
in.
how much. Yeah, I was like, oh, nice, we're doing that. All right, cool.
I was like, oh, we're in this. All right, cool, bet. We're in this. So yeah, I was on board with it, man. I was like, that's the flyest way to do this.
Hmm. Yeah,
So
I liked it. I dug it. That was awesome. What would you rate this episode, Cliff?
I think this one I'm gonna have to give 10 out of 10. I did like the cliffhanger right at the end.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was like, it was fly.
yeah, that was pretty dope. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, and again, like it's one of those things. Like I knew, like, because they were like, oh, it only affects adults. I was like, that means Pat's not gonna be any good to you guys. And then, of course, that's the cliffhanger that they end on. But it's like, hey, man, let's do it. Let's go into it. Who knows? They might have to incapacitate Pat, and maybe Mike pilot Stripe in the finale. Who knows? We'll see. But yeah, so
I heard you calling it. That's your home
yeah,
run shot. You calling it?
that's what I'm calling. That's gonna happen. So yeah. So those were the latest episodes of Stargirl. Remember, we are watching them on the DC universe, and you should as well. And if you don't remember why, it's because the CW chops these episodes to shit. I honestly don't know how anybody's watching these shows on the CW.
Do you think that the DC they cut out that whole scene where Court was like telling her parents that she needed them? Do you think they cut that part out? I hope they cut that part out.
Maybe. Who knows, man?
That episode way better for me.
Like I said, man, I only saw the pilot episode and I was horrified by how the CW chopped that up. So I don't know. It might be worth visiting that episode for sure. All right. So yeah, if you're watching Stargirl, let us know what you think. Are you excited for the finale? I am. So yeah. All right, Cliff. Let's talk about Doom Patrol because we got some craziness happening here. Okay, so we're gonna start with episode 7 of season 2, Dumb Patrol, which was... Oh boy. All right, let's get into it. Miranda helps protect the Doom Patrol after a mysterious package arrives at the manor. Rita's visit to a beekeeper leads her to confront her past. Niles travels north to find Dorothy's mother. This episode was crazy for the scants. Let's just get into that right now. That was insane. Again, straight out of the comics. And yeah, Cliff, what do you think of this episode, man?
I got him right where I want him.
Yeah.
As soon as I'm dead, I'll get them right where I need. Yo, man. It was like, like the bad ideas that we're passing on. I was so into it. I'm gonna perform surgery on you. Yeah, let's do that.
Oh yeah, that's a terrible idea.
No, but you know what's craziest to me? Like, I was like, you know what though? I was like, if anybody can pull this off, it's Cyborg because at least he's got the computer in his mind that can like tell him like, hey, what you're fucking
True,
up.
true, but he was also infected by the scants,
He
so
was.
I don't know if that's. Oh my god! This I also loved because again, like they went back into the painting and Beard Hunter Cliff. I loved the joke there where they're like, "Where's Mr. Nobody?" And he's like, "He got a job on some streaming service, so that's what he's doing." And then the little ad pops up. It's like Harley Quinn, all episodes now streaming on the DC Universe. I was like, this is the weirdness that I come to Doom Patrol for. The kind of self-aware meta humor that I love from this show. So yes, I love that. I also love that Beard Hunter was painting himself white to camouflage himself because where was he getting the paint? That's what I want to know. So yeah, Cliff, what else did you think about this episode?
I like the story with Rita right now, where
Yeah.
she's like trying to like invest in a role, but it's more like her getting over her own fears of like what happened with her mom, and
Yeah.
she's kind of like getting into that. I did love that part. I did love the this. Honestly, man, I don't understand. I hope Doc dies. I'm just gonna be honest. Everybody keeps saying it, and I know I love him too, man. But I'm just like, you need to go, bro. Like, you totally hit the ejecto-cito cuz I'm a man, robot man, and then
Ejectocito. I'm
totally
giving
pissed
you
me,
points for that reference, man.
totally pissed me off with that. And then like, it was cool seeing him land in the north, and then like, obviously he went off on his own with Dorothy. We keep Dorothy in the spaceship. And then uh, we got to see Cliff's story kind of play out a
Yeah.
little bit more. I love the fact like one shout out, one phone call.
Yes, that. Oh my god, that made me laugh. Like especially because it's like I'm not fucking doing, it. And then it immediately cuts to him like, "Hey, it's your boy." Like,
Yeah.
like yeah, you're doing the shout outs, man.
Doing the
Otherwise, you
shout
don't
outs.
get the phone call. So yeah, I really loved Cliff's story in this episode. It was
Also, I
great.
was gonna say I did love the fact that Beard Hunter, like, as weird as it was, like he legitimately was still camouflaging into the paint, and like they never saw him.
Like the scans just
This
didn't see
kid,
him.
all right, cool. I don't see him. He's painted all white.
And I was like, get behind me. Everybody get behind me. And they all get behind him, but then they all do like the Three Stooges thing where they poke out behind him. That was funny, man. That's great physical comedy right there. I love it. I love it. So yeah, I really love this episode. Probably, you know what? I don't care. I'm gonna give it a 10. 10 out of 10. This episode was amazing. Like I said, this is the kind of wacky, goofy shit that I come to Doom Patrol for. So yes, 10 out of 10 for me.
Yes, I will agree. 10 out of 10 on this one.
That was awesome. I love that episode. Let's get to episode. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
We didn't even mention about Miranda talked about one of the characters was acting funny in the underground.
Oh yeah.
Who did she mention?
Shoot.
Somebody was acting because that's how she knew like there was bad ideas being handed out.
Mm-hmm.
And then like the
Also,
queen was.
I liked that weird thing because like Miranda, she never got infected. Although
Yeah.
it was Flit, the teleporter. She
Yeah,
was
Flit.
yeah. So yeah, she got infected, but Miranda couldn't, which is I don't understand how that works. And obviously we never got an explanation. Although maybe we kind of did and we just haven't seen it play out yet. We'll get to that. But yeah, I thought that was interesting. It was very interesting.
Well, I think so. I'll say what I say. I think for that episode because Flit was there when and got affected because she's obviously filled with bad ideas. But well, what I think what made it even better was that when Miranda showed up,
Yeah.
she wasn't like they're already infected and they're around the queen. They just couldn't get infected by the queen, because like she already believed that everybody else was. Because it's like a prey, right?
I think
With,
I
like,
think you might
prey.
be right. Yeah.
Cause just like when honey, like bees, right? They're all like around each other, and they're not gonna obviously sting each other. But then when they feel dangerous, then they're gonna go after something, you know. And I think all the defenses were down, and then they obviously thought that because she was there with them, oh, she's also one of them too. But
Yeah.
then we saw the return of my girl, oh, Silver Tongue.
Yes, that was awesome.
Shit.
Yeah. Silver Tongue for the win. That was
For the
amazing.
win. I love her.
It was a great episode, man. I really, yeah. See, and the more we talk about it, I'm like, yeah, this was top tier Doom Patrol for sure. So yes, I love it, 10 out of 10 for sure. All right, let's talk about episode 8, season 2, Dad Patrol. This episode had a lot of really cool stuff. Let me read the synopsis. To prove her worth in the underground, Jane brings Larry to the rural Arkansas to help her retrieve an invaluable item. Niles organizes a special day for Dorothy while she hides a personal development from her father. Yeah, this was a crazy episode. I really liked the pairing of Jane and Larry because that's not a dynamic we've really explored on this show before, and I like it. I'm here for it. I also really liked that Cliff finally got some time with his daughter, Clara, and they seem to be okay with each other. Although I'm not gonna lie, the moment she invited him to her wedding, I was like, oh, this is not gonna go well. Like, this is not good. And spoiler alert, I was right, although for different reasons, but we'll get into that. But yeah, so I really liked this episode. I really enjoyed the development with Dorothy, because that's it would be scary for a girl, and the way it was handled on the show I thought was handled very well. Although I think it was a little weird that the lady was like, yeah, don't worry telling your dad about it. I was like, I don't know, I think she should tell her dad about that, but I don't know. That was really my only qualm with the episode. But Cliff, what'd you think of this episode?
I was like, yeah, she's only been around for 90 years, and she's growing up, and in the world, she's got to be hidden, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is true, man. I really did dig the episode. I loved all the dad moments that we had in it, obviously for obvious reasons, you all know already.
Mhm.
It was cool. Like, I liked Cliff's thing where she was like, yeah, it's a boy, and he's like, it's a boy, you woo. It's like totally cheering.
He was so happy.
Yo, I saw him like do like the pump thing as the robot,
Yes.
like obviously Robot Man doing the pump thing, and I kept thinking of Frank the Tank from Old School. It's like, yeah. Another moment I really liked was the last bit of it with Jane and Miranda.
Yeah, dude, that messed me up.
Yeah, fucked me up for real. Because then we found out that other characters have been murdered too.
Yep. Yep. And that perfectly sets up a reveal in the finale this season. But before we get to that, so yeah, what would you rate this episode, Cliff?
You know what? I don't want to sound cliche, but I'll give it a 10 out of 10.
Same, 10 out of 10. I don't think we're spoiling anything by saying I think this show is consistently a 10 out of 10 for us. So, or almost consistently. But yeah, man, it's so good, man. All right, let's talk about the season 2 finale, Wax Patrol. Although I do have to preface, I do have to preface this by saying and explaining that this season was supposed to be 10 episodes long, but because of everything that's going on in the world right now, they were in production on the 10th episode, which was supposed to be the season finale, but they couldn't finish it before everything got shut down, so we're an episode short. Although, as I understand it, they have about maybe 80% of that episode finished. So who knows, we might get that episode as the first episode of season 3. So, but yeah, so this was not supposed to be the finale, but unfortunately, it's just the way the world is in 2020. So, hey, we make do. So let's talk about it. Cliff, Wax Patrol. The Doom Patrol must confront their childhood imaginary friends before they face the Candlemaker. Meanwhile, Dorothy must make a fateful choice. This episode, again, like this episode, like deals with like it's the end of the world, and it's this apocalyptic event, but also ridiculous and goofy the way I love my Doom Patrol. Like, I love that Cliff's imaginary friend was Jesus.
Oh,
That was amazing. And like, not even like Jesus, but like dude bro Jesus. You know what I mean? Like, that was hilarious. I love that. And also, I I might be mistaken, Cliff, but was that not our first like actual fist fight on the show? The fight between Robot Man and Jesus?
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because this show doesn't do fights like that very often. So yeah, that was refreshing. It was very refreshing to see it. I really enjoyed that. I also loved what was Vic's? Imagine Dr. Cowboy.
Dr.
Was that
Cowboy.
Dr. Cowboy? Yes, played by Phil Morris, who also plays Silas Stone. And I want to give a shout out to Phil Morris because he's one of my favorite actors currently working, and his performance in this episode is fantastic as Dr. Cowboy, because he's not just playing Silas again. Like, he's doing a character and he's doing an accent and a voice, and this episode just reminds like why I love Phil Morris so much. So yeah, man, props to him and whoever's idea that was, because I don't think any of these imaginary friends are from the comic books. Like I said, I know a little bit about Doom Patrol. I've read some of the comic books, but I'm not an expert. So I don't think any of these are, at least in any of the research I've done. But so whoever's idea Dr. Cowboy was, bravo. What do you think, Cliff?
Yeah, I loved it too. Actually, I liked Rita's imaginary friend, Little
Yeah,
Paper. Come to find out that it was actually a character that she had put together with her mom's eyes too. I was like, oh, bruh.
that was
And then
creepy.
I loved. Okay, by the way, I am a religious person. I loved how many times they took Jesus' name in vain
I also like
to
the joke
to
when
include Jesus' name, Jesus himself.
when he's like Jesus, he's like, "Are you allowed to take your own name in vain like that?"
I was like, oh,
it,
bruh. I think that's a
that
whole other level of awesome.
it
Like,
really was. Like, I legit, like, I almost spit my drink out. What at that part? So yeah, that was hilarious, man.
is it also safe to say that that Larry doesn't have an imaginary friend?
You know, I was wondering about that as well, because yeah, he was the only one we didn't see an imaginary friend for. So I don't know, man. I don't know if he just doesn't have one, or what. I don't know. That was I did find that a little odd. I'm gonna be honest,
And I
because
love the fact that we
I was
got.
expecting you what Larry's would be, and we never got it. So go ahead, Cliff.
I also like the fact that we also like everybody got lured into a false sense of security before
Yes,
it ever got changed or
yeah,
got drenched in wax, I guess is what we'll call it. My
yes,
favorite though, I'm gonna be honest, I love the fact that Dr. Cowboy like turned on Vic so quick. He's like, "You
yeah,
don't cane me for affirmation." He's like, "That's not true." He's like, "Of course it's true." And I'm
yeah,
just supposed to stand here and say, "Yeehaw."
yeah.
I was like,
The Pat's
"Bruh."
yeah, bro.
Turn on this so quick.
Yeah,
Like, fuck out of here, Vic, you little bitch. You just sitting here crying and shit to me. That's all I was supposed to be here for, is to be like, it's okay, buddy. I was like, bro, this is a whole nother level of
yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
And to be fair, Jane's like, yo, we've talked about Jane so much, right? And it's because this whole season was, let's be real, like this was focused around Jane. But ever since last season with Jane Patrol, we have not, and forgive me for saying this, we have not stopped dick riding her, right? I guess vagina riding her. I don't know how you. And we have not stopped. We've been on this roller coaster ride with her the whole way, and from the moment we saw Jane Patrol and rated that episode 10 out of 10, like we have been. Hey, Jane is that chick. We've been fucking with her for a long time, and like this episode, man, literally showed us like how fucked up like Jane's life really has been,
Yeah.
even with as Miranda and then as Jane, and just to see the quick turn, bro. Like I am all about her.
Was this help me out here, Cliff? Because was the incident that occurred there, was that the creation of some of those personalities, like Scarlet Harlot and because you know, like because as it was happening, like she kind of went through a couple of them, and so I was like, is that the incident that caused those personalities? I'm a little uncertain about it, but I mean, dude, you make a yes. I was gonna talk about this, like the Jane's plot in this episode was heartbreaking and like, because it starts out great, you know what I mean? And then for it to go where it goes was so like heartbreaking. Um, and like you were saying, man, like this to me was like this was on the same level with Jane Patrol from season one in terms of like Jane's story. So yeah, man, like I'm with you 100%, man. Like this episode for Jane, it was yeah, it was that roller coaster again. You know what I mean? And so yeah, man, I'm with you 100%. Agree.
What was her romantic comedy character again?
Karen.
Karen. Yeah. It's just like you see, like I really have to agree with you, man. It really makes me wonder now, like maybe all those characters like came through because of like this relationship. Like it started off with like this whole like, hey, and maybe she just didn't know how to put like a name to it because like let's be real, rom-coms really didn't start coming popular till like, you know, right around like the 90-ish time frame. But yeah, she like that character may have been started because of like that relationship and how it started like so innocently and then kind of just turned, and then Scarlett Harlot obviously joining in to that. We saw Jane's personality came from there. Like
Yeah.
there's just so much that like it's so crazy to think that that one relationship, as well as her previous relationship with her father, who's you know, we said that before. We said what we said, but
Yeah.
all those splits, those fractures happen because of these two relationships. And I'm just curious, like the other thing I'm really curious about too, man, is that this all took place in like the 60s. Like, how old is Jane? Because she hasn't aged.
Well, she said something about, like someone asked her about how long, and I can't remember what the question was, but her answer was 90 years. So I'm like, yeah, like all these characters have sort of been alive for a long time. Like I'm a little confused as to how that works, but I don't know. At this point, I'm just like, fuck it, who cares? They're immortal.
Yeah, because like,
I
well,
yeah,
Larry's the one that really gets me the most, because obviously Larry like went through his whole radioactive phase. Like Rita makes sense because obviously, like, you know, whatever the ritual like took over her, obviously would make her. Jane, I'm very curious about because like I don't understand like if there's like one of her abilities is that she can, you know, stay youthful.
yeah.
Robot Man Cliff makes sense because obviously like he's naming an entity. He's just is a robot. Like that makes sense. And then obviously Doc, we found out that because, you know, he had his medallion. It all makes
The
sense.
only one we got a real explanation for. He had the immortality medallion.
Yeah.
And like I said, like Cliff makes sense because he's a brain in a robot. That makes sense, sure. And you can kind of draw conclusions about like Larry and Rita and whatnot. But yeah, like it's just I don't know if like any of it's ever actually been confirmed or not though. But so I don't know. For me it's just one of those, like I said, I just kind of accept like whatever, they don't age, they're immortal. Who cares? You know. I just enjoy the show so much that it doesn't bother me. So yeah, no, but this episode super yeah, I really love this episode, man. And I really like, I know this wasn't supposed to be the finale, but this actually felt like a finale to me. Like the way it ended on that cliffhanger, like that's how a finale is supposed to end. So I don't know, man. The season felt pretty complete to me as a season of television. So I don't know, but we'll see. We'll see where we go from here, especially with Dorothy's storyline, because I am interested to see how that plays out and whether or not Dorothy is going to stick around or not. So we'll see. But yeah, I'm gonna give this a 10 out of 10, even if it's just for the Jane storyline. But I mean, the rest of the episode was great as well. So, what about you, Cliff?
No. Jane's story gets 11 out of 10. Everything else gets a 9 out of 10. And together that episode gets a 9.9. out of 10 because I was so pissed at how this episode ended. I was like, I was so mad. I was like, fuck the candle maker.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, yeah. That dude. Nah, get that dude out of here. Don't like him.
Fuck Dorothy's mom for convincing her
Yeah.
that she could put on the red boots and go battle. I did. Okay, I will
Yeah.
say this is a cool ass moment. I love the moment where Dorothy's mom was like, "You need a weapon." And she's like, "I can make my own." And she made that huge ass spear. I was like, "Let's
Yeah.
go!" And then it ended. I was like, "I just want a conclusion." I just need rap in my heart, man.
Or fight the candle maker. It's like, dude, I want to too, right? But yeah, man, I love this episode, and I love season 2 of Doom Patrol. I thought it was gonna be weird without Mr. Nobody, but I still loved it. Still love the show. So yeah, and honestly, this season felt like it just flew by, man. Like I feel like we just got this show back, and it's already over.
Well, it's not fair. We got the first 3 episodes in the first week.
That's what it was. Like we got 3 episodes at once, and I watched them all like right away. I didn't even pace myself. And so then we only had 6 episodes left. So it's like, yeah, well, here we are. We're at the end of season 2. But
okay, I do have to say something too. I know a lot of our fans are gonna be like, "Why do you keep calling him Doc?" Because he fixes all the fucking problems. I know who Chief is. I just want to put it out there. I keep referring to him as Doc because he fixes everything. Except for this problem with Dorothy.
Yeah. Although to be fair, he was trying to fix it, but yeah.
Oh, like reaching.
Oh man! All right, so yes, Doom Patrol season 2. Yeah, for sure.
I'm just doing in my anger right now, man. I'm just thinking about this episode all over again. I'm just like,
I can see it on you right now.
Yo, I know.
I'm like, oh man, Cliff is, because everybody, Cliff texted me. He's like, oh man, I'm so pissed off at Doom Patrol right now. I was like, I could have guessed that, just like, because we didn't talk while we were watching it, but he sent me a text afterwards, and I was like, yeah, I could have guessed, just based on what I know about how you react to things. So I knew this was coming, ladies and gentlemen. I really did. But yeah, I really love season 2, and I can't wait for season 3. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm gonna say. Can't wait. All right, and maybe it was a good thing that we haven't started watching Umbrella Academy yet, Cliff, because now we've got some time. So yeah, so
it sucks too because we don't have anything lined up. Like normally, because like Doom Patrol would end, and like last year, Doom Patrol ended, and we got Swamp Thing.
Swamp Thing, yeah.
And now we don't get Swamp Thing.
Look, I'm just gonna start pulling stuff off my off my shelf behind me. I got my Swamp Thing, collection here.
I love it.
I love it so much, dude. I've rewatched that show so many times. It's insane. I love it, and it still breaks my heart when it ends the way that it does. So.
But we do get, like you said, we do get a lot of time now to watch Umbrella Academy. I can catch up with Watchmen. So.
Yeah. Finally.
finish watching season 5 of Breaking Bad.
Yep, there we go. Because it's not like we have anything else to do in our free time.
Damn you, coronavirus.
Yep. All right. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, were you watching season 2 of Doom Patrol with us? Let us know what you thought. What were your favorite moments? What do you hope to see in season 3? Go ahead, Cliff.
I forgot to mention. Mr. Swag, go ahead and just let the fans know that you are our Danny Street.
Yes.
Just put it right there on the screen. Just let us know.
What I hope we see in season 3. I hope we see Danny World, because they set it up. They set it up this season, just like I was hoping they would, and they did. So do not disappoint me with season 3. All right. All right, so yeah, that's gonna do it for us this episode. We got all caught up, ladies and gentlemen, and hopefully no more bad stuff happens in our lives, and we will be back next week because we do have to talk about the season finale, Stargirl. Can't wait. And yeah, hopefully we're gonna have some more news for you guys, and even if we don't, hey, we'll try and figure out something to keep you guys entertained. So, all right, Cliff, let everybody know where they can find you online.
So you guys can find me on all my social media platforms at CM_Miller85. That's TikTok. That's IG. Well, TikTok for the next 45 days. IG, Twitter. You guys can find me on this podcast here with Nerds at Roundtable, or you guys can also find me at the 3 Count Podcast. That's my wrestling podcast. I enjoy it. We have a debate show. It's a lot of fun. You guys go check that out. And then, here in the future, you can catch Antonio and I on G4 TV. Still plugging that.
There it is. Put it out there in the universe, Cliff. We'll see what happens. All right, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Go give Cliff all the likes and the follows and, all that stuff because he deserves it. I am, of course, Antonio Padilla, associate producer of Zack Snyder's Justice League. You can follow me on social media. It's either at Tron Pilgrim or at Tron Pilgrim 87. You'll know which one is me because it does say associate producer of Zack Snyder's Justice League in my bio, and I do link to the podcast, so you'll know where to find me. You can like Nerds of the Roundtable on Facebook, facebook.com/Real Nerds of the Roundtable. You can follow us on Twitter at RealNerds_, and you can always find us here on Nerds of the Roundtable on YouTube. You can find us on Anchor.fm/nerds, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, everywhere podcasts are available, ladies and gentlemen. And that's going to do it for us this week. We are finally back. I know you guys have been so deprived without us, but hey, we're going to try. Yes, we're going to try and be back on a regular basis from here on out. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for us this week. Join us next time, same nerd channel. Good night, folks.